On the 6th day of Christmas, Rock Top gave to me Sonic Wave Infinity by APTeam. Dramatic by Ringello. Miseretta by Dutchy. Sync by Audzi. Big Crusher by Slay. And Sansei La by Custy and Ked. Hi, this is my completion for my good friend Finley and his 12 Demons of Christmas with NFZ. I chose Sonic Wave Infinity because it's hard, and I wanted a hard completion for this. But at least it's blue, innit? So like, it's kind of like, you know, snow, winter, Christmas, all that, I think. I'm glad to have this clear though. I wanted to beat this level for a while now. The while in question being the other circles level. Yeah, it's been a bit, but at least we're here now. Anyway, Sonic Wave Infinity. What do I think of this level? This level is a hard wave level, and that's probably the best way I can put it. That might sound like it just describes every other level on the list, and it does, but this level was just that much more simple to me. Back when I was playing Sonic Wave, for example, most of the difficulty was concentrated in just a few difficulty spikes. The rest I would say was pretty easy. With Sonic Wave Infinity though, not much in particular stood out in difficulty with the waves, but nothing stood out as easy either. It's not a perfectly balanced scale of difficulty. There were some stick out parts that took a little more effort to get used to, as well as some parts that kind of pissed me off, and the part that majorly pissed me off. But overall, I definitely on average had to be locked in on pretty much everything from the drop to the end. I don't have a whole lot to say about the non-wave parts. I think they're all pretty easy. The pre-drop takes some getting used to, but like after a day of playing from zero, I was passing it most of the time. There's some kinda hard clicks, but they're still really not that deep. And all of this very much reflected in my progression with this level. For the most part, the more I just sat down and played, the better I was getting, because of how straightforward and consistent everything was. It's still of course a really hard level, and especially near the end of my grind, the sheer difficulty of every part was starting to give me a pretty hard time. But regardless, the way forward with this level was still always very clear to me, and I was confident in my completion the better I kept getting at it. I see people say that this level wouldn't be good as a hardest, which is especially reflected in the early reviews, back when the level was high on the list, and I see why. I can see it getting pretty overwhelming, needing to be so locked in, with so much of the level being so consistently difficult when it's at the tip of your skill range. Like I said, it was getting pretty tough for me as well in the late stages of my grind, despite it not being my hardest. If you ask me though, overall, I did indeed like this level. From what I've been saying, it is a pretty simple level. I wouldn't be able to talk about each part without repeating myself a whole lot, which is why I didn't. But I do think a lot of the gameplay is very satisfying. Big fan of that. I really enjoy getting significant runs, and the level being so consistently difficult contributed toward the feeling of progress with these runs. I thought the pre-drop might have been a drag, but for how long it was, it never felt like a free and boring cutscene, while still being very passable for most attempts when you get good at it. If you're interested in this level like I was, whether it's for the reasons I've put out or your own, I think it's definitely worth giving a shot. It can be pretty daunting to approach, but if you know what you're getting into, I think it can be a pretty enjoyable experience. That's about it with Sonic Wave Infinity for me. You can go and like watch the completion now or something. Unfortunately, most of it won't have clicks though, because I didn't realise that my fan wanted to be a bloody tornado for the attempt, but also only stopping for the last few clicks and my reaction. I couldn't make this up if I tried.
just beat it.